back to my to my big homie, man, what I call him, Big Stacey, man. He passed away about 2 years ago, but he was the first person that really got with me, that helped me started to change my beliefs about food. He was the first person who introduced grilled chicken, grilled fish to me, right? I was like, what? Let's just go eat McDonald's and go work out. He's like, dude, what are you doing? You know what I'm saying? But he was the first person that introduced a different way or a different belief for me to eat. Because, like I said, I would start my weeks off in deficits because I will binge over the weekend, right? Because my belief was, man, I can work out Monday through Friday, do what I need to do, and then on Friday, Saturday, and Sunday, that's my time. I'm gonna eat whatever I want to eat, even though I know it's not serving me. Man, Monday, Tuesday, good people, I will wake up, my body will be like stiff, my joints will be stiff, I will be bloated. Why? The belief, the belief that I had around food and the belief that I had around working out, right? About health. So listen, I want to say this before I get to part three. You can outwork you can outwork bad food for only so long, right? Eventually, it's gonna catch up to you, good people. See, I was outworking a bad diet. So I always say this. Let me say it like this. Let me rephrase it. Let me say it like this. You can't outwork a bad diet. Just let me say it that way. I don't care how much you in the gym. I don't care how much you getting up every morning, doing what you need to do. Diet is 90% of health, good people. You cannot outwork a bad diet. And in order to stop trying to outwork a bad diet, you first have to uncover the belief behind the diet. And that's what this episode is about today. All right, so listen, part three, good people. This was my wake up call. This was my wake up call. You know, everybody has a wake up call in life, right? I always say wake up calls are just pattern interruptions, right? So when you really have a wake up call in life, that's just something or somebody interrupted your pattern that you was consistently doing that you couldn't interrupt on your own. So the wake up call was somebody interrupted that pattern, and then now you became conscious enough to see it and recognize it to do something about it. So my wake up call came after we moved back from Dallas. You know, I talk about this a little bit on other Soul Truth, but after we moved back from Dallas, man, I had got up to my heaviest, man. We had went through a lot of stressful events. You can go back and check out those other Soul Truths when we lived in Dallas. We had lost Joshua. That was our second son. My wife delivered early. Her placenta separated. We was going through financial struggles in Dallas because we had rented out our house. And the guy that we rented out our house to in Oklahoma had lost his job. So now we had like a mortgage in Oklahoma. Then we had, a mortgage or rent to pay. So it was all type of stuff going on. Emotion. What did I tell you in the first part? Beliefs that I picked up growing up. When things weren't going good, what do you reach for? Food. When things are going good, what do you reach for? Food, right? When somebody dies or at funerals or whatever, what do? You eat, right? When you get bored, you see what I'm saying? So doing this stretch in Dallas, man, me and my wife going through all this, guess what? I had got off of sugar for a little bit in Dallas, but then emotions, right? I started emotional eating again, and I got up to my heaviest right before we moved back to Oklahoma.